Hi, this is a twin flame reading for, this reading is specifically for twin flames only. If you aren't on a twin flame path, this isn't even for soulmates. This is literally just for a specific group of twin flames. I've attempted to do this reading in various different ways. I've attempted to do it by elements. I've attempted to do it by signs. I was trying to make it for soulmates and relationships, and the readings just wouldn't work. I've been guided that this is a very specific reading for one group only, and to try and break it down by signs, elements, to include other people, it's just not going to work. So yeah, it's a reading to cover this eclipse portal energy that we're in. We had the annular eclipse UK time, early hours of this morning, which took place in Western tropical astrology. It's in Capricorn. In sidereal astrology, it would be Sagittarius. And on the 10th and 11th of January, depending on where you are in the world, we have the solar eclipse take place in either Cancer or Gemini, depending on, and that's with the full moon. That depends on whether you're following Vedic astrology, and the exact day depends on whereabouts in the world you are. So I highly advise, alongside this reading, to take a look at the astrologies that are taking place right through January, but particularly around these eclipses as well, because we've got alignments taking place with major other planetary aspects that cause all kinds of changes, shifts, etc. So yeah, take some time to have a look at that. I'm going to look at this reading. I'm going to take the masculine energy at this side, the feminine energy at this side, and then look at the energy in the connection and go a little bit further and dig in, depending on what shows itself from their Queen of Cups showing. Depending on whatever shows up, we'll try and get as much information as we can. Yes, so without any further ado, I'm going to dig in. So this is for twin flames only. What energies we're dealing with, changes we can expect during this current energetic portal. So we've got High Priestess trying to show itself. So that's for the masculine. What do we have for the feminine energy? Three of Swords. Right, this makes sense because these cards were trying to show themselves during the other readings I was trying to do. And the current energy of the connection. These are tying up perfectly with the other information I've been having come through. So I'll just get this card and then I'll dig into this a bit further. Right, so we've got two cards. King of Wands and the World. I'll have to try and make these fit here somehow. Right, so masculine energy. I'm feeling that this High Priestess energy is about awakenings, learning to trust their intuition, learning to balance the feminine energy. The way I was trying to read it before, it was impossible to tell who it was coming through for, and the Three of Swords was coming through too. But doing it this way has allowed me to separate it off and see what's what. So we've got a group of masculines who are learning to trust the psychic intuition, psychic and intuition information that they're getting. They've been balancing and learning a lot since they're becoming awakened. And what we have with the feminine energy, this Three of Swords, this is about how it was coming through in the previous readings that I was trying to do. It was showing that the feminines were holding on. We had a lot of Four of Pentacles energy coming through with it. And we had Knight of Pentacles. So what it was saying to me was that there is progress in the connection, but it's being halted by the feminine going over and over. As I'm looking up the 5555 on my TV. It's going over and over and over. The feminine's going over the past wounds. You know, like, why isn't he doing this? Why isn't he doing that? Dwelling on what's happening in the 3D. and not seeing. No, we've got the 3 there, and then we've got 2 and 1, which is the 3 as well. The clinging on to the 3D, and the not trusting that things are going on in the background. And I know this because it's something I've been dealing with myself in my own journey. So as the information I've been getting, it's asking the feminines to start trying to release that fear, stop sort of dwelling on things from the past, what the masculine may have done on the journey that's hurt you so far. If you want this connection to come together, new and healed, you need to release those things. For some, it may be that you are psychically picking up what the masculine is purging and feeling. This is perfectly normal to do within the connection. But there does come a point where you have to work out if it's your energy you're feeling or if it's the masculine's. And yes, we're meant to hold space, we're meant to help them heal to a point, but they do have to also feel and heal their own stuff. We can't do everything for them all the time. So, energy of the connection all together, we've got the King of Wands. So this is leadership energy. This is, stepping into your power. And we've got the World, which is things coming full circle, spiritual growth and insight. So I really do feel that this is asking to let the masculine put that trust out there and let the masculine be doing his healing. So that it can come full circle and start to understand. You need to separate what's yours and what's his. And yes, of course, you need to hold space, but you need to be not projecting back the negatives that he may have done along the way, or that other people have done as well. If you've got like hurts from past relationships and things triggering, this is your triggers. This is where you need to heal. And this is what it was kind of showing before, that the Knight of Pentacles, it was like, yeah, things are moving, but they're moving slower to manifest in the 3D. They're moving slower in the 3D because of these sort of blockages. I'm going to dig more into blockages and we'll see if this sort of comes up and confirms it. But these are positive cards. If this is the energy that the connection is in at the moment, this is the masculine kind of levelling up. And these lessons coming into fruition. It's like the World card, it's stepping out of that one cycle into another. So I can kind of see why I was guided to do this as twin flames only. So, right. This High Priestess for the masculine, I'm going to take a clarifier. What is this High Priestess card telling us? Why is it here? Yeah, look. Ooh, I'm going to have a look at them as well because they want it to jump. So we've got the 6 of Cups, which is, it's soulmates, obviously, so this is like twin flame connection. They're looking back on the past. For some of you, this may be someone from your past, from your childhood. I know that ended up being true for me personally as well, so if this is the same group that I'm kind of in this wave with, then that would make sense. But they're kind of like, as you see, he's wanting to, the masculine here, he's handing the cup to the feminine, so he's starting to tune into, he's wanting to do this. That's the energy he's feeling. Yeah, look, these 2 are the ones that were wanting to jump. We've got the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Wands. So this is like, he's wanting to come towards the feminine. He's viewing her as the Queen of Wands. He's seeing her for what she is. That is really, really, really positive energy. We've got Temperance trying to show itself. So yeah, balancing. Things are starting to balance out with the masculine. He's starting to get his intuition, his insight. He's starting to trust his awakening process. And of course, he may still be purging and healing, and this is what the feminine's feeling. But this is why the feminine's sort of, being asked to release the past so much. So we'll take one more clarifier for the masculine's energy. Yep, Queen of Wands was trying to show itself. So he's looking at the feminine as the Queen of Wands. He's is viewing her in the power that she's in. This is really, really, really positive from the masculine. And we've got the King of Wands in the middle. Look, he's wanting to come forward to the Queen of Wands. We've got divine counterparts. Yes. That's absolutely brilliant. So we'll get some clarifiers for the feminine. We've already touched on. I'll look at obstacles in a moment. Yeah, look. We've got another 3 of Pentacles. So for the feminine, this is it's the lessons. It's kind of like putting everything that you've learned, making sense of it. Ace of Wands trying to show itself. So that's new opportunities for growth at a soul level. So there may be some opportunities coming to the feminine in the 3D. She's learning some new things at a tangible level, but it's feeding a soul growth. She's starting to make sense of the past heartbreaks and hurts and what they've been teaching her and applying the lessons. That's what this is asking you to do, to start making some sense of that. So we'll take a clarifier for the energy. That was quick. And look at that. I knew the Hierophant was... I just saw it in my third eye about a few minutes ago. So look... The energy of the connection is learning. Well, you're both learning. We've got the High Priestess and the Hierophant counterparts. We've got the King and the Queen of Wands counterparts. So what's interesting with this is I do feel like this is the masculine wanting to come forward towards the feminine. He's been learning these lessons. The Hierophant is letting go, or starting to let go of the traditional thing, the traditional way of looking at things. The spiritual awakening that's taking place is starting to really integrate it. This is very much the feminine, yes, holding the space, like I said, but it's making sense of and understanding the journey where you need to, where you need to pull your energy back and focus on yourself for your own growth, where that will support the masculine. It's going to be slightly different for everyone, but those it's resonating with, you'll know how exactly that applies to you. Yes, so I'm going to dig into each side. So what obstacles is the connection experiencing? So go with the connection first. What current obstacles? So it's the world itself, it's the lessons, is the obstacle. That's the world appearing twice in that position. So I'm feeling that this obstacle may be on the feminine side, but we'll take a look. What obstacles is the masculine experiencing with the connection? What are the current obstacles for the masculine in the connection? What's trying to get out there? Walking away from difficulties, walking away from things that are causing chaos towards calmer shores. What difficulties is the feminine? What are the obstacles on the feminine side that she needs to perhaps address? King of Swords. So we could look at this a couple of ways. For the feminine, she's wanting, it may be the fact that she's needed to embrace some slightly more masculine logic, because that's what the King of Swords is the embodiment of, masculine. He's the masculine logical energy. So this is kind of asking the feminine perhaps to step out of the feminine energy a little and embrace this masculine some more. Start using a mind a little more. You've got this, like I say, we've got the teaching and learning card here. So it's asking you to make sense of things rationally. As come out of your feels a little bit, because we've got the feels over here from the masculine. If you're feeling the feels for your masculine, it's going to take a little bit of that away from him. It's going to give him that cushion. And you're also not seeing things for exactly what they are. So if the world is the obstacle in the connection, what is the guidance to deal with that obstacle? We've got 2. Oh, we've got 3, in fact. Okay. So, Page of Swords, 10 of Wands, and the Moon. So, Page of Swords is it's a thirst for knowledge, understanding things, kind of like a new quest for information. The Ten of Wands is being overburdened and carrying too many burdens, and, you know, it's coming to completion. Something's coming to completion, but there's something you need to let go of, and I'm feeling that this is for the feminine with the Three of Swords and the Moon. You know, we've got, like, illusions, things not being quite what they seem. So I do feel that this is, again, the feminine's holding on a little too much. I do feel there's very much here, it's the feminine energy wanting to see results in the physical. She's hanging on too much. She's instead of flowing, she's holding on to the fact that there's illusions and things that she's not seeing. Also, the Moon card, we've got this Sun and Moon energy going on here, which speaks of an eclipse to me. And look either side, we've got two towers, twin towers, Gemini, the eclipse that's coming up on the 11th of January, 111, is tropical Cancer, but sidereal Gemini. So this card does speak to me of that energy. I'm going to take a clarifier for this on the feminine side. I'm thinking maybe it might be that she's too much in her head. Too many to take there. One clarifier for the feminine's obstacle, thank you. Yeah, illusions, choices. She's playing over far too many things in her head and not seeing things for what they are. There's a need to cut out some of these like emotional illusions that are clouding your vision. So I'm going to get a clarifier for the obstacles on the masculine side. Yep, so walking away from things that were no longer serving him. So he may be having a little bit of difficulty walking away from, for some, this could be a codependent relationship of some description. The decision is made to do it, he's going to do it, but it's, you know, it's still a bit of an obstacle that's there. There may be some behaviours that he still needs to walk away from too. So what is the guidance for the masculine? Page of Cups. To see, to look at things from a different angle, to look at relationships and emotions and commitment from a different angle, which is, you know, if he's been coming very much from a place of logic and he's now in his High Priestess energy, that explains that. We'll take a clarifier. Clarify this Page of Cups for the guidance for the masculine. Why is the Page of Cups here? That's trying to turn itself. Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. I think he's holding himself back mentally a little. He needs to focus on what he wants. His wishes can come true. Make your wish and make it come true. What is the guidance for the feminine? Three of Cups. Yep, get out of your head. Go out, have some fun. Talk to your friends. Again, it's you know, start thinking about what you do want and what you don't want. Ace of Cups, look. See? So yeah, the feminine, she needs to be focusing on the positives. Don't dwell on the negatives. You need to release them. You need to let them go. You need to bring yourself back to basics and remind yourself, you know, how far you've come. Detach your energy from anything, any negative thought, any negative feeling towards the masculine. And do whatever you can to raise your own vibration. Pour into yourself. And that's going to help keep the connection clear. Guidance for the masculine, all the things that he's working on. You know, it's like coming to terms with things aren't exactly what you thought they were. The world isn't, you know, this sort of 3D eat, sleep, work, repeat, eat, work, sleep, repeat cycle that you thought it was. There's, you know, a lot going on under the surface. So, yeah, look, we've got 9 of... This is close to some sort of completion. Things are moving. Let's take another one. It's guidance in the connection. It's like, hang in there. You've both been sort of battle scarred, and you know, yeah, look, the Chariot, things are moving. They're moving forward, but just because you can't see it in the physical doesn't mean it's not happening. It's like sheer determination. And this is like, you know, he's the wounded warrior. He's battle scarred, but he's holding on. He's not letting go. So with this 10 of Wands here, and then the World, it is coming. The feminine is so focused on the negatives. So I'm going to take one more guidance for the masculine. I'll take one more guidance for the feminine, and then I'm going to look at the overall. So guidance for the masculine, again, same. Release this 3 of Swords, release this heartbreak. So you're mirroring. You are mirroring this for each other. He's still dwelling a little bit in the energy of, you know, sort of past heartbreaks and telling himself things can't go right, but he's starting to embody this energy and wanting to come forward. One more guidance for the feminine. The Star. Yep, healing. Heal this past energy. Heal these heartbreaks. As he's releasing this, you will feel some of it. Don't allow yourself to get bogged down with it. Heal. So focus on your own healing. Don't be taking on everything of his. He needs to level up. The level up is coming and he's moving forward, but don't start losing hope, which some of you may have been doing. And I know I've been guilty of that myself at points. So if both sides deal with their obstacles, take on the guidance, what will be the outcome from these energies? Ace of Swords, clarity, breakthrough. We take another one to clarify this Ace of Swords. And Judgment. Yeah, it'll allow things to be seen clearly. There's too much sort of... And I do feel this is the majority on the feminine side. Dwelling on the past, dwelling on negative thoughts, worries, hurts. You need to release it once and for all. And if you're feeling the masculine's energy and mirroring it, you need to focus on you and pull your energy back in order for him to start releasing these things for himself. Yeah, 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, this is speaking your truth. So in order for the masculine to come forward and speak his truth, he needs to know that, you know, this space needs to be cleared and clean in order for him to do it. Conversations will be had. Goddess of the Moon, look. Note how I'm doing this, you know, between these portals as well. I'm using the moon as healing. We've got this new moon today. We've got the full moon. Full moon on the 10th, 11th. So this is a real call to sort of heal these communication issues during these energies. The feminine is very much, it's about healing yourself. Take your energy away from the masculine. Stop dwelling on all the negatives and what's not there. Things are moving, but, you know, sort of the obsessing and worrying, it is slowing things down, because all you're doing is just cushioning the energy he's mirroring, and he's not kind of having to deal with it himself. As kind of like, I'm sort of seeing this as in passing his emotions along to the feminine, but you have to be standing in your power. Yeah, there's not really a lot more to say there. This Three of Swords energy, this is kind of like dwelling on the past. It needs to be let go of. This is whether it's in the connection or whether it's past hurts that you're allowing to project forward. I'm seeing this as him walking away from this devil energy as well. He's starting to make this move forward and to see things as they are, walking towards his wish fulfillment. But if the energy you're projecting is the Three of Swords, he's going to pick that up, and it's going to put that little bit of a barrier in there. So that barrier needs to be healed and lifted. I mean, I'm seeing from this that the masculine's actually coming on leaps and bounds. And like I say, maybe the feminines are picking up the masculine's energy, but you're holding on to it. You know, you need to release it. So, yeah. That's twin flames for this current energy portal. Thank you.